had amazing coaches who are still part of my life today. I wouldn't be here without them or with any of the people I just mentioned. Tonight is really special. This is a really special award for me, a really special recognition. But if there's only one message I'd like you to take away from this evening, it would be find your inspiration. That's the thing that makes you want to participate even on the worst of days. It's the thing that makes you want to get up and start over again and keep moving. It's the thing that makes you happy. It's the thing that challenges you, and it's the thing that excites you. When I was in school, mine was sports. I started in an early age. I was 12, if I remember correctly, and I lived out of town. I had to drive or take a bus to school, and I always had FOMO. I had fear of missing out, or at 12. I think I invented it, actually. But I came and stayed after school one day and walked with a classmate of mine, and she said she was trying out for softball. And I went home that day and I said, Mom and Dad, I want to try out for softball. And they said, go ahead, and that's when it all started. I have no idea why. It just sort of happens that way. So softball for me was fantastic. It was my passion. Being a pitcher is my passion. I was very good at it. We won a lot. Basketball, I loved basketball. I loved playing basketball. We didn't have quite the same winning record in basketball that we did in softball. And it was tough sometimes because we often lost more than we won. And it was those times, I think, that maybe I grew and I learned from the most. But wins or losses for me, it was about discipline. It was about character. And it reflected in my academics and in who I am as a person. And I echo the comments made earlier by some of the other recipients. When I got to Princeton, I was hooked, and sports for me, as I was saying, was my inspiration. It got me through the best of times, and it got me through the worst of times. And while I don't remember all the statistics, I mean, when I played games, it was all about, it was all about the numbers and the winning and the passion, and you wanted to take that record home. And I never thought that 30 years later I'd be standing here and I would say that there are some games I honestly can't remember and some statistics I don't remember. What I remember is the friends I made. I just remember the growth from it. I remember that, it just helped me, it helped me reach my dreams, really. If there's any doubt, and I going back through the records and my memorabilia in getting ready for tonight, I just read and remembered a lot of stories I hadn't thought about in a while. And one of the things I had written to myself on a regular occasion was, I practice all the time and I study all the time. And I'd often say to myself in my journals, is this going to be worth it? Is this time worth it? And it was absolutely worth it. If you have any doubt today or tomorrow, those long bus rides home, particularly after a loss, I'm here to tell you it's worth it. And I'm here to ask you, too, to thank your coaches. I appreciate the story about the Grand Slam against Whitehall. That was just an amazing experience. I mean, there were so many times. I also remember my first pitch out ever, and I don't know how many softball people we have in the room, but I was a sophomore, and I had to do a pitch out, and I got the pitch too close to the plate, and it was in Easton, and the person hit and scored the winning run, and that was my only loss sophomore year. But that's what, being my inspiration, it made me want to come back the next day and do better. So please, again, thank your coaches. They're the best relationships you'll have. Stay in touch with them. Stay in touch with your friends. And in closing, I just want to say, thank you all again.
Our next speaker this evening is Mr. Paul Kovach.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. Our next inductee is Mr. Ed Yapel, class of 1949. Edward played football 4 years, basketball 4 years, and baseball 3. During the time at Northampton Area High School, Edward earned a total of 11 varsity letters, and was selected to the Lehigh Valley football first team 3 times during his career at Northampton. Edward was also a 1953 graduate of Syracuse University, where he played left end and was co-captain of the football team. A teammate of Hall of Fame center Jim Ringo, Edward played for 3 years the tutelage of Hall of Fame head coach Mr. Ben Schwartzwalder. Edward earned 3 letters in football during his time with the Orange and played fullback in the 1953 Orange Bowl against the University of Alabama. Following his career, Edward played football for the Hamilton Tiger Cats of the Canadian Football League. After spending time with the Tiger Cats, Ed was called to serve his country as a corporal in the United States Army during World War II. Edward played football, fast-pitch softball during his time in the Army. In 2011, Edward was inducted into the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, Edward passed away Monday, January 25th, 2016. Edward was survived by his wife, Helen, of 60 years. The brother-in-law, Robert Geist, his sister-in-law, Joanne Yapel, and many nieces and nephews, including Barbara Zidek and Jean Raisley. On behalf of the Yapel family, Mr. Sean Murray will accept.
And our final speaker this evening, Mr. Joseph Kowalczyk.
Thank you, Mr. Murray, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to this year's annual Hall of Fame induction. I'd like to thank Mr. Murray for all his efforts in putting this event together. I have the privilege of introducing the 1996 Northampton girls basketball team, and I'll just read a couple of their major accomplishments. They were, at that time, it was a Mountain Valley Conference, and the girls won the 1996 Mountain Valley Conference. They were runner-up in the District 11 championship. They won the Eastern Conference final, which advanced them to the state final. And they ended their season with a 27-5 record. Pretty good. So let's give them a round of applause for that. In 1996, 20 years ago, I can't believe it, they always say the older you get, the faster time goes. I was a faculty member here at the high school, moving ahead to be the assistant principal, and I can assure you that this group of girls never spent any time in the office. They were always on time for class. Back then, we didn't have the security or the police officers, so you never skipped classes either, is that correct? No, they were model citizens. And if you believe that, I have a bridge that I want to sell you as well. But no, in all seriousness, it was a great group of young ladies, a lot of fun, and obviously when they have that camaraderie and partnership and teamwork, success comes with their record of 27-5. And I'm going to announce I also coached basketball at that time. Mike Schneider was the athletic director, and I asked him if I could recruit some of the girls for my team. Back then, you weren't allowed to do that, but I think nowadays we can do that, right, Mr. Murray? Sure, go for it. But I was quite envious of the girls' team at that particular time. Coaching staff was Coach Ellen Malone, the head coach. She couldn't be with us this evening. She is in Florida. Ellen was a heck of a coach, a heck of a player at Central Catholic, 1,000-point scorer at Central, and 1,000-point scorer at LaSalle. And I remember her on the sidelines vividly, getting very excited. I'll just say getting excited. How's that? You can talk more about that. I'm going to ask you to come forward then after when I call your name. Now, I don't have all your married names, so I apologize, so I'm just going to use your maiden names. But Coach Julianne Mark, Coach Mark, come on up here. Julie coached in 96, 06, 2016, and she's going till 2036, I think you told me, correct? But you look the same, so that's all that matters. Coach Dale Fuller. And Coach Sue Fuller, who's not with us this evening, I don't think. Is she, Sue, here? Sue was a 1,000-point scorer, but Julie and Dale, from my days, what I remember, were the calming influence on Ellen Malone. As you can see, nice and relaxed and calm. Now the team, led by the all-time leading scorer in Northampton basketball history, Laura Newhart, with 2,143 points. Tara Drago and Nicole Druckenmiller couldn't be with us this evening, but Nicole Druckenmiller was also a 1,000-point scorer. We have Leslie Newhart, 1,000-point scorer. Leslie said she would have had more points, but her sister wouldn't pass her the ball. I'm just telling you what they were talking about in the cafeteria. Amanda Spangler. Sue Croft. Candace Culp. Becky DeShuda. Kristen Flipovitz. Lisa Schneider. Allison Edwards, and then players in the system that were part of this group: Rachel Mummy, Tanya Drago, Tristan Drago, Lori Pokovitz, and we have with us Lauren Gowdy. Lauren? So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present the award to Laura Newhart. She's going to say a few words. So Laura, congratulations.
I don't know about you guys, but I'd much rather be up here in sneaks than high heels. It's much more comfortable on the court that way. But wow, what an incredible honor. Thank you to the committee for recognizing this incredible group of girls and for giving us the honor of coming into the Hall of Fame with just an unbelievable class of athletes. So congratulations to everyone. 7 points. When the buzzer rang 20 years ago approximately, at the state final game in Hershey, we lost by 7 stinking points. Tough day, but if you were to reduce our season to just that one number, you'd really be missing the boat there. Somebody had asked me earlier what made this team so special, and I thought of 2 things. First one is grit. So by many measures, we had no business being on that floor in Hershey. From a little town, makes cement, spells the word concrete wrong, starting 4 sophomores, playing against a lot bigger schools, and in a lot of cases had a lot better talent. But this team refused to lose, and we had coaches who refused to let us lose. I think we started getting the name the Cardiac Kids a couple of games into the state final, because I don't think there was a game where late in the 4th quarter we weren't down by some significant score. So we were giving people heart attacks, but luckily we pulled those out. But in addition to the grit, and more importantly, the reason this team was so special was family. We were a family. Every single one of these girls put team ahead of self. Every single person played their role to perfection. We pushed each other, we cheered each other on. Occasionally we yelled at each other in a motivating way. But it was just something incredible to be a part of. And that's not where the family stopped. Because when you think of family, you think of extended family. And so when I think of extended family, I think of the community of Northampton. They followed us everywhere, to every game. wearing deflated basketballs on their heads and hooting and hollering and rally towels going. Really, there's no way we would have pulled out some of those games without our incredible fans. And when you also think of family, you think about history, those that came before us. And so I don't think any of us would be here today if it wasn't for all of the coaches and other players that had helped us and brought us up through the years. So I think back to Kim Davis, NAA basketball. At that point, when many of us were playing, it was probably 95% boys. And, all of a sudden, who are these girls coming to play? And Kim made sure that not only did we get on teams, but we got coached and developed and had just as equal an opportunity as anybody else did. That continued on through junior high, where we had the privilege of being coached by the Schneiders, Pops, and Mike. And they even let Big Dave Newhart in there for a season in junior high. Thanks, Dad. And then you get up to junior high and high school, and again, just the most amazing coaches you could hope for. So we talked about the past, can't figure out the future. You guys right here. So I was looking around at all these awesome banners. Anybody notice one missing? State championship, girls basketball, 2017. You guys in? It's the team and the coach to do it. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Congratulations. Dale, congratulations. Really.
Laura, thank you very much. Once again, I'd like to just have a quick round of applause for all of our inductees tonight. Congratulations to you and your family. And also a big thank you to everyone who helps make this evening so very special. So thank you from me, and good luck to our girls and the Stroudsburg Mounties tonight's matchup, and go Kids. Thank you.